Yeah, I mean, you look at the entirety of the game, you finish the game with 21 turnovers. It's hard to survive that, especially playing low possession games. Again, asking guys who are out of position to get us in positions and get us organized in a pressure-filled fourth quarter isn't the easiest things that they haven't done before. So again, we hit some bumps. I think we can be better there, and we can improve there for sure.
It's expected that there will be a different style and scheme that is thrown at Andre Drummond with how dominant he has been in previous games. What did you see that Memphis did with his game that pulled him out of the paint, or just caused some confusion for him on the offensive end?
Again, I think it's what we do more so than what they do. Obviously they are extremely, physical with Valanciunas. They've got good size to body him and be physical with him early. But I believe when Dre plays with force and with thrust, it doesn't matter what the other team does. We have to do a better job of spacing around him to get some of the hands out of his way so that he can go to work. But that's, again, something that we'll continue to work on to be able to give him room to operate when teams decide to bring the double teams or shrink the floor with those crowds.
And this was the second consecutive game that Colin Sexton was scratched late. Is there something impeding his process, or you just didn't feel like he was 100%? What led to that?
I literally found out before the national anthem, and I haven't had a chance to have a conversation yet. So when I have that opportunity, I'll have more information for you guys.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. JB, who told you?
Our trainer told us. Spiro told me. Yeah.
Okay. And then this was your first look at Yogi Ferrell in a Cavs uniform. What did you think of what he gave you off the bench tonight?
I thought it was good. He's a pro. He's an NBA lead guard who can play the pick and roll. He can orchestrate an offense. He can make a shot. He competes on the defensive end. So I thought, all said that he was good for his first outing with us.
And it's me, so these numbers may be incorrect, but I think this was the seventh straight game that you have trailed going into the fourth quarter. The level of pressure that a team faces when doing that, how do you describe that, JB?
It's definitely a weight, and you almost have to play perfect basketball. I think our third quarters have been an Achilles heels for us. We've got to be much better in the third quarter so that we're not facing those deficits going into the fourth quarter. Again, tonight, to be honest, I thought we lacked for large periods of the game the two things that matter to us most. Our competitiveness and our selflessness. Tonight was the first time that I saw more than not we were lacking in those areas. And, again, that's something that we can control. And if we control those things, we'll be in better positions going into the fourth quarter.
JB, you mentioned the third quarter and just how that's been difficult on you guys recently. Do you see a common denominator there?
I think, our opponents, come out with a little more force. I think that's something that we have to be able to match. I think, if you look at our defense in the third quarters, we're giving up more points there. So I think that's something that we just have to improve on. And, again, being shorthanded, we got to play the game, as near perfect as we can in the two areas that matter most. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to miss some shots, but we have to compete every possession. We have to play selfless every possession. And that's our identity. That's our foundation. And that's what we have to do if we want to, put ourselves in better positions going into fourth quarters.
Thank you.
Kelsey?
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic. JB, do you have an early thought as to why there wasn't as much competitiveness or selflessness tonight?
No, I'll go back and watch it. But again, what we believe is those are choices that we make. And in order for us to be who we need to be, it's got to be 48 minutes of it. And tonight, I just didn't feel that was who we were for 48 minutes or enough of the game to be impactful.
And we've talked about, obviously, the defense all along, but tonight Memphis finished 60% right in the paint. And we've talked about the need for defending right in the paint and at the rim. What was the biggest difference did you see tonight in defending that area?
Well, I think that's part of the selflessness, on the defensive end of the floor. There was a lot of me just guarding my man. And we protect the paint, not just with one guy. Our goal is to protect the paint with multiple bodies so teams don't get in there. But if you look at, they scored 64 points in our paint. You add the free throws, and 80 of their points came from our paint and the free throw line. You turn the ball over 21 times, that's dang near impossible to overcome. So this was us tonight. I give Memphis credit, obviously, and I don't take anything from them, but this one